preparing to live stream our meeting. Hopefully it will work. Let's see if it's working. Hopefully we can get the connection and it looks perfect. Okay. So, and hopefully I have everybody's picture. So any comments, questions that I need to answer before I begin and show you what is next on the agenda? Luana, anything that you need me to discuss as well, or you're okay?
I'm okay.
Okay, as we're all right, we're ready to begin. I'm looking forward to a great session today. I'm going to talk about the rest of the month with you. I'm going to talk about the rest of our project with you and answer any of your questions. So you're all ready for me? Great. So I'm going to, the first thing is I'm going to share my screen. Sharing is caring, and we can see ourselves. We all look bright and bushy-tailed as we can see, and we all have our number. So I will go to, let me see, I'm in section K. I'm on a regular section. I know it's not my audit section. I have in terms of this, I've been in my Zoom. So the first thing that I need to do is look at what's due. I look at what's due. I'll look for today and some today, which is Wednesday, April 2nd. So you see, it was the idea, the phone voice AI agent assignment. In the phone voice AI assignment that is due today, I've extended it to the end of the day here. Some people were having issues. So by the end of the day, hopefully you can get in your assignment for your voice phone AI agent. What I'd like to emphasize with the voice phone agent is I'd like to emphasize, and let me just is for the VAPI is I've also looked for numbers that spell something, and I've tried it even with 669. I've had some luck, which spells now. So some of you that are having issues, do that. Make sure your assistant is attached to your number that you're doing it. And when you look at assistants, there are sometimes issues with loading and other things happening here. So there's some issues, and it may be because they are new, and just because all of us are doing it with 10 numbers, we may have overflooded their server. Who knows? But that's kind of interesting. So this was due today. I told you about uh, the questions for AI, and for today, what I want to make sure that you understand is we have another audit assignment. I'm having it the entire assignment rather than next Wednesday. There's a lot there. I want you to start it already this week. Next week, I will help you with that assignment, give you feedback already. Don't wait to the last minute because there's a lot to do there. And I'll go over it with you. And of course, the readings is chapter 12 for a business analysis. So always we go to the audit assignment instructions, and under the audit assignment instructions, what is important, their goal is I want you to do progress of your website by modifying what you have already, updating some pages, create service offerings. Everybody for the next step should upgrade to a full domain name. So you need a full domain name because for other tasks for the project, you need a full URL. We're going to also do something called fast bots. I'll go over that with you, but that is another company that I have a partnership with you that are allowing us to upgrade to their business plan that creates a chat bot, and not only just a chat bot, but a chat bot like Notebook LM that you can put your own URL, your own doc, your own text, and it will answer questions for you. I want you to implement Notebook LM and record a podcast based on your URL and based on your documents. And I want you to add your VAPI phone number, plus putting in one of your names, a voice that matches, and also the prompts that will focus in on your services to add to your website. So this is your PDF, and I'll go over it with you. Again, the same thing of what I talked about before. So one of the things that I want, and I want to make this clear to everyone, is I want you to have another page with demonstrations of the apps that you will give a service to. Either you will do it for other people, or you'll teach them, you'll tell them that you'll give this as an opportunity to teach them how to use these other apps. You'll take it as a sample. So each person in your group will be responsible for at least one demo. You may want to use more than one demo, but minimum, every person in your group is responsible for a demo. Do you understand that, Greta? So it's not going to be just Greta doing the project, right? But each person will be graded, and your whole project will be graded as a whole, and individually you will be graded by your participation. So you'll have a tutorial where you'll have a demo showing each of your AI tools. That video will be less than 5 minutes. You'll explain to someone how you would use the tool, give examples, show real-world applications. And of course, if someone hasn't used that tool before, they'll be able to understand it. You can also critique that tool as well, showing the pros and cons. Which tools should you use? You decide which tools you can use. You can use tools that we've already used in the past, or tools that are new to you. You can even show maybe even how to use VAPI, how to use fastbots that we talk about. You must upgrade your domain name. You could be a domain name with your VAPI number, otherwise a domain name that describes your issues. Choose a domain name. What I say is I don't want you to spend any money. So choose domain names that are free for our selected plan. Our plan is the business plan. Questions on that? I also, number 3, want you to create at least 3 social media accounts. The social media accounts, I'm allowing you to decide who in your group will be responsible for the social media accounts. You decide which social media accounts you want to use. You want to use Instagram, you want to use TikTok, you want to use X, you want to use LinkedIn. It's up to you which ones you choose, but they should be compelling, your posts. You should also make sure that you follow each other and make comments to your own posts. This will count. So just to be slack and stuff, you will not get full credit. The other thing, and I'll go over this next week with you, you must have a domain name. Once you have a domain name, Wix allows you to do what we call search engine optimization. That is, they have a wizard to make sure that the Google crawlers will find you when they're looking for your company. You have to do this after you upgraded your account and after you've selected your unique domain name. But you have to do it early enough. Don't wait for the last minute, because then Google doesn't have time to upgrade you. So you'll go to your site, your website, and your SEO, and you'll complete those steps to connect this site to the Google Search Console. You'll check to see if you can find your site by searching the terms. Sometimes it takes a while to update. So sometimes in order to update this, you have to do this within 24 hours. You will not get credit. Points will be taken off if you have not done this SEO, search engine optimization. So again, you and your group have to decide who's responsible for that. I also want you to create service offering pages. You'll have at least 3 different services that you're going to try for your website. You'll include, basically what I'm saying you should do is make your services free in the beginning. No one knows you. So unless they have trust in you, why should they use your services? Also, if someone doesn't want to use your services for free, of course, they're not going to want to pay you. So this is a amount on trust of what you can do. So the services that you can even do Zoom meetings where you can invite people. You can do group training sessions where you can maybe even have like some Zoom meetings. You can do some webinars. You can do online seminars. You can do things where people can join you on YouTube. You decide what you want. And when you create that new page for services, you want to make sure all these services in the beginning are free. The other thing, which I will go over with you tonight, is we have the opportunity to use something called FastSpots AI. So you should create an account with them using your school email. Everywhere else I say, go ahead and use not your school email, your regular Gmail account, but here I want you to use your school email account on FastSpots AI. When you're doing it on your FastSpot AI, you can then just have one student sign up for the account. They have a free account and they have a paid account. What I suggest is use the paid account. We get it for free. And this allows you to use multiple premium models. It allows you to have 5 people work as a team. And you then create the bot. And I'll go over that with you tonight. You can add, it's similar in that sense, like Google LM, where you can add docs, you can add a website, it'll crawl the website. Now tomorrow they're upgrading their crawler to be extensive where it can go to all your pages. So you can then ask questions, who's on the team, what kind of services you have. And you want to be able, when you're doing this, to make sure that you'll even record to say that you've queried then your bot to make sure it works. And they are allowed to do this, and you can add it to your website. That's what was that number? 6. Number 7, what I'd like you to do on number 7 is also have a podcast on your website. So Ellie, how could you have a podcast on your website? You know how to do it. Use Notebook LM, right? But instead of Ellie, instead of talking about chapter 1, 2, and 3 or whatever, you'll basically convert, in this case, your podcast using your URL, using your docs into that. And then what else do I want on your website? Have a VAPI AI phone number. So as a group, pick the best phone number. Each of you have done phone numbers already, that which is the best. And then on your phone number, make sure that you change the prompts. So the prompts explain your business, and that when you call it, it works explaining your business, and see what are the issues that work out. It's a lot, but we're dividing up the group. You got it, Ellie? But most of it you know. So what's important that I want to show you now is the Fat Spots AI. So if everybody, you can even go to it, or you can look at my screen. If I type in fastbots.ai, this is the company that we're using to do a chatbot on our website. Also, what I'd like you to do is look at this company. I think they've done a nice website. Things that they have on their company website, I think you can use as a model for your company. What do I mean? First of all, they have their logo there. They have Get Started Free. They even have a webinar replay, or they have basically, you could even create then a YouTube or a screencast where people could hear about you. The other thing, what I still to date on Wix, when they use their AI, and most AI generated website, it is so generic that you folks have to go back in and make corrections to. It's still not good enough. The first page around, the first stage around, to focus on what does it actually do. What do I love about this? AI chatbots that know your business, ready to help customers 24/7. Train a chatbot in minutes using your own documents or website. Handle customer questions, capture leads, support visitors across your site and social platforms. So in many ways, it's similar to also my VAPI, but it's used as a chatbot. What's interesting is they're going to also include, when somebody says, put in a human, they'll then call a human, as I was saying before. What I like is it's very well documented that I know that I can put in PDFs, docs, and YouTube. Notice here they say providing AI chatbots to trusted brands around the world. Notice, did you see this? Greta, the first logo they got, that's us. What can I say? So I guess as the academic partnership, they put it, and I guess that was the most prestigious. They put us even first, right? But that is just us. It's not the rest of the university, just inside. But anyways, so the other thing I want you to do on your website is I want it to be real. So trusted brands around the world. You could possibly pay potential sponsors, but I don't want you to put sponsors when they're not real sponsors. Do you understand that, Greta? That I want your website to be real. This case, it really is trusted brand. We at the University of Miami, it's the Dr. Rushinik's classes at the University of Miami, right? 3 simple steps to customize your ChatGPT agent. What do I like about that? Is they give you a step of what they're going to do. Almost sometimes you may even think about this as giving steps of how you're going to help people. If you're a tutoring company, we're going to be teaching you about certain ones. If we're going to be focusing on maybe teaching, finance or other business classes, it may be focusing. So this is what I like. Import the data, very similar to also Notebook, right? That I could do a CSV, which is comma, separated values, file, a docx, text files, PDF, CSV, YouTube videos. So what's nice in here is that you can even put your YouTube videos as part of your chatbots. You can even create a recording in Zoom, and you know how to stream live to YouTube. You can even put that. Customize the bot. You can see that these folks are from Britain, right? Where they have customized the bot. They put an S there. But choose your welcome message, very similar to VAPI. Chat icon, color scheme. Simply grab the link to your custom chat bot. So now what's nice is basically you can put the link, your domain link, and they will then crawl all the pages of your website. And then you then basically decide on the chatbot that you try it out. And then they say a simple user-friendly AI chatbot platform. This is on their back end. On the back end that you can see this. Now, this may be another thing that you want to do. So I calling you, Greta, but you may even, once you figure out how to use this AI chatbot, you may be able to use that as one of your demos. You may be providing that. We can create a chatbot for you. And so you can see here that these are the appearance, very similar, right? The title, the welcome message pop-up suggestions. You see that? Very similar. You see how they're using the recording software? That they created this using recording software. You could do the same thing in adding the recording software that you could use then in terms of your voice. And look at this. Our chat bots integrate with your channels, website you have already. If you want an Instagram, you may even want to include a chat bot in your Instagram. That may be interesting to do. And why choose fast bots? And they chat history, bot personas, very much similar when we did the voices in our bots. You can change the character, the purpose of your chat bot, maybe for lead, again, for leads. Choose your AI, select from OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, import your data. We talked about it, TXT, XLS, YouTube videos, privacy and security everybody's concerned about, multi-channel, that I can use it from a number of different apps, multilingual. Now all AIs have a number of different languages. They included that. Branding, control access, add a chatbot to any website. They're using our website. Developer. Turn conversations into actions with AI agents. This is interesting. Some of you that want to look more into submitting forms, booking appointments. So you use the AI. Remember, we talked about agentic AI engines of sending emails and SMS messages. Sign up for free, automated translations, turn conversions into leads, connect to your favorite apps, keep up to date with automated retraining. Will your website, do you think, Finley, your website will be static? Should your website, true or false, your website should always be static, not changing?
False, because I feel like
False.
AI is constantly changing.
You want, in order to get traffic, you don't want it to be the same. So what this does is your chatbot, you can tell that you can train and say, go every day and crawl again, because I'll have new events, I'll have new things. So what's nice about this, it'll keep up to date with automated training, which I like, and how you can use it. They give you the use cases, how I can use it as customer service, my sales assistant, my personal assistant, onboarding and training. Maybe you can even use that, Finley, if you want it. You say, hey, our folks, we can teach you how to do that. And this is the key right here. Start your new AI assistant. If you don't want anything, you can. I'm allowing you to use it free. The problem with using it free, it's only for one person. And if the chatbot data is deleted after 14 days of inactivity. So if you're not using your chatbot every day, it will delete it. So by the time I'm grading your project, if you haven't done it, it will be deleted. So that's the problem here, where you get only one chatbot. It'll crawl up to 100 pages, which is more than enough. And it gives you GPT-4o mini and Gemini Flash and added. In your website, you have the code. So one person put in the code, and I suggest you use the business plan. It's $57 per month, but Finley, we get it for free. We get it for 2 months. It's more than what we need. We really only need it. But this way it's good. So we know that it will, once I start grading, it'll be in May. So it's good to have it. But you get 5 chatbots. We don't need so many websites, of course. It'll do what's nice. It'll do chat translation. So let's say we have English, Spanish or something. It'll give me the leads, which is nice. They basically also, if you're really curious, Zapier has like actions, like agents. You can incorporate that with agents. It gives you all learning language models.
Dr. Rush. I
Yes,
think our guest is here.
perfect. I'll be with our guest in a moment, but I appreciate it. Our infamous guest. And then you'll get the all LMs, the auto retrain, the knowledge assistant. And what I like here is you can use 5 team members. So you could even work together on your team members for priority support. So this is what I want you to do. It's good to have to even start it. And then when you can retrain it, once you add more pages, you want to make sure that it works well and that you can ask the questions. And when you have problems with the questions, then you can go back and fix and say, hey, when it asks about, do you give any services free? And it says, I'm not sure, then you can even give it a prompt. What else is interesting, just so you know, they have a premium version we're not going to worry about. They have an enterprise version, like if the University of Miami were going to take that and put it on their website, then they could do it. They could even fully manage it. So you see in the services, sometimes enterprise say, hey, we don't want to even bother to do that, or we want you to manage it. It could be fully managed. Or a reseller. A reseller would be the possibility, if you really thought about it, you could, in this case, for instance, Finley, if you had you could reach out to other mental health counselors and say, hey, you could resell it to them and you could get a profit on it. And you would, rather than saying Fastbot, it could be your name. So they would remove powered by Fastbots and you can customize it to yours. So this is within Fastbots. So I want you to look at that. One, as I think it's nice in terms of their website is nicely set that you can use it as a sample. 2, we're getting this for free on it. So if ever I can have everybody's camera on. So Jordan and Samson, so this is important because we're going to have an interactive session. And we can even get it, in this case, we can produce a lot of music together and have it. So in this case, Samuel and Max, hopefully we can see you too. So so everybody clear on the assignment? Juan Manuel, you clear on what needs to be done? So finish up the VAPI and then start meeting with your groups and assigning assignments that we can start it. And then on Monday, I'll look at people's projects and give you feedback on it. And where you get stuck, we'll look at examples. Any other issues, Greta, that I need to address? We're okay. Everybody clear on
Yeah, I
what we
think we're
need?
good.
Okay. And then Samuel and Max, if I can get your cameras on. Okay. So in terms of guest speakers, I always doing my academic partnerships, whether it's with the university and security or whether it's with Wix and also Fastbots. What I'd like to do is reach out to the community and see who is using AI in their work. And one of my loves is music. And I met Jared at his gig, and one is I loved his music. And second of all, you know me, I can't help but saying, are you using any AI? And some musicians come back and they say, yeah, we heard about it. I know nothing. Or they tell me I'm scared of it. I don't want to do it. And all this AI is going to take away all my basically my business. And he was one of the musicians says, am I into AI? I love it. And not only do I use it for my music, I use it for all my producing of music and for my marketing. So he was so excited that he usually I tell people, well, contact me, and they kind of like fade in the distance. But what did Jared do? He kept on pursuing and even invited me to more of his gigs. And so what I want to do tonight, Frank, is not have slides, but this class, let's produce some music with AI. What do you think, Frank?
That sounds great. Let's
Okay,
rock.
so you got the challenge, Jared. We got a group here that is willing, at 7:30 at night, where they're either their stomach is growling or they're ready to go out, right? Have are sharing with me this great group, and I'm going to leave it to you to figure out how we as a group can produce something that has a good beat and that we can produce.
Awesome. I guess we'll dive right in then.
Yeah, so just give us a background of you, Jared, and then we'll start. And then you can share your screen. I'll allow you to share your screen, and then you can also let people afterwards know how they can get in touch with you, if they can come up with some ideas or help you in any way, or you can help them.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you again for having me, Dr. Rushnick. My name's Jared Dillon. I'm an international recording touring artist. I've worked actually with SingularityNet in a AI marketing position. And I actually even came back to the University of Miami. I'm a Frost graduate, but I came back to study AI tech and fintech, just because I like to be at the cutting edge. And so that's what we're going to do today, is be at the cutting edge of this AI technology. And it's completely changed my workflow. It's completely changed the way that I make music, how often I'm making music. It's turned the process of months into minutes, and we're gonna experience that today. So, Frank, you're paying attention? Can you give me a word? Just give me some spark of inspiration if you can. I'm gonna share my screen.
Coffee.
Coffee. Okay, cool. Who here likes coffee? I do. Dr. Rush, of course. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So real quick, the last class that we did this with, Patel gave us his inspiration was a mantra that he uses for himself is nothing really matters. It'll all work out in the end. And I actually was joined by my production partner who played piano, and we came up with a little vibe, and it sounded like this. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Oh, it'll all work out in the end. Nothing really matters. So that was the inspiration. The idea was house music. So we fed it in here, and within a couple of minutes,
Jared, we don't hear it.
you didn't hear any of that?
Mm-mm.
That's unfortunate. It was working the last class, right?
Yeah. Maybe
Alright.
you need something with your audio.
Yeah, you know what it is? Probably the let me stop sharing for a second. Is
Because we hear you well.
okay. Oh,
It's
that would
interesting because, last time we heard your music really well, but when I was speaking, it was like it was an echo.
yeah, and
Now my audio is really good. Like Zoom. Now
Yeah.
it's starting, maybe your audio. Now maybe.
you know what it is? So
What?
Zoom has this feature for musicians, and I had it turned on. I just had it turned off. So let me know if you could hear this
Yeah.
now. So and we also created artwork for it. So I already sent this to you so that you could share it with Om. But can you hear that?
Now we hear it well.
Really quick, this was the
Yeah.
original.
Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Oh, it'll all work out in the end.
And then literally, I said a couple minutes. It was less than 1 minute. It's really a couple seconds. We have this. Ah, crap.
Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Oh, it'll all work out in the end. Nothing really matters. Oh.
That was a minute. We did it last class.
Yeah, and it generated 2 versions of it, and like this was the other version,
Nothing really matters.
but it doesn't sound like the recording at all. And
Right.
so we'll talk about a couple keys here. We gave a whole presentation that didn't really maybe hit what your interest may be, but iteration is your friend here. So you can generate, this is the free version that you're seeing. The paid version, the pro version, will have thousands of credits, but I can generate about 10 songs with version 4 of Suno a day, which is, let me
And
put it
that's
on.
free?
This is free, but I guess I've already used up all my V4 credits, because
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
my only option is V3.5, which is still good, and I think it'll
Okay.
serve our purpose here. You can experiment with this for free, and you can pay for it yourself and see, like, literally have generated thousands of songs in the last month.
So you put in your lyrics or it will produce lyric?
Well, I was thinking we would do it the same exact way we did it before,
Okay.
where we started with an idea. So we had Coffee from Frank. Quinn, what do you think? What's the vibe of the song?
Maybe just like a hip hop rap kind of thing.
Hip hop rap about coffee? All right.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so check this out. Hip hop rap about coffee and how it fuels you up. All right. So usually when I do this, I'll read through it for rhythm, right? Because and what we'll do is also what we did in the last class was actually play the song, so I want to do that as well. But so just for some quick inspiration, we've got sipping on ambition, energy on high, cup of motivation, I'm ready to fly. All right. It could be better, right? This doesn't replace creativity. It could be a lot cooler. Maybe let's get creative with it, but a nice hip hop beat, maybe like. Sipping on ambition. I'm gonna record it. So just like a voice note. Sipping on ambition. We'll take that. I'll drop it in. I'll just airdrop it to myself. And hip hop. Good choice, by the way. Very little harmony I had to worry about. And then let's see. We can, if you notice here, we have sections, right? Verse, chorus. You can put in the framework of the actual song directly into the software, so into the program. So try that again. Okay. And then Rise and Grind is the name of the song. That's a great title for a song about coffee. And you got verse, chorus. Let's have it write another verse. Hip hop rap about grinding. Okay. And let's see what it does. Verse 2. Okay. And then let's make it about coffee because we need to have some poetic arc to the song, right? So now make it about coffee. You can also, oh, it didn't do it there. You can also highlight this and rewrite it. Now make it about coffee. Here we go. And then I want it to repeat the chorus. So I'll put another chorus there. Save those changes. Okay. We've got Rap God. So you hear, this is an updated interface now, where you can it also gives you some prompts up front. Hip hop beat, deep rap, rapid fire rap. And then you notice how it's separating each prompt by a comma. That is the formula that this program likes. So you could put the beat per minute, you could put the key that you're doing this in. I'm gonna put coffee shop lo-fi. Coffee shop lo-fi, see what happens. And then the very last thing I'll do is I'll add the voice memo that we just took. What's cool about this program as well is it generates artwork every time you generate a song. And what we talked about as well is how if you're on Spotify, if you're on a streaming platform that offers, you know, either seeing the artwork, but specifically Spotify, here, let's create it. Specifically, Spotify has canvases, and they've done a they've done some study to show that a good canvas could earn you up to 120% additional streams per release. And it dramatically improves your audience engagement and also the quality of your brand as an artist, your artist page on Spotify. So what we've got here is, look at this, a cup on the streets of what I'm gonna say is New York City, because I'm from the Northeast. But let's hear how these came out.
Yo, in the morning light, I rise and grind, pouring that magic, a real gold mine. Being so bold, they ignite my soul, fuels my hustle, makes me whole. Sipping on ambition, energy on high, cup of motivation, I'm ready to fly. Coffee dreams steam, ain't never running dry. In this caffeine anthem, I reach the sky. Through the concrete jungle, I pave my way. No time for doubters, I'm here to stay. Every drop of sweat, every late night line, stacking my victories, I'm on the climb. Every swirl and sip, my spirit soar.
It's pretty good. It actually stayed pretty true to the original input. Let's hear the other one.
In the morning light, I
Sounds a lot
rise and
better.
grind, pouring that magic, a real gold mine. So bold, they ignite my soul, fuels my hustle, makes me whole. Sipping on ambition, energy on high, cup of motivation, I'm ready to fly. Dream steaming, never running dry. In this caffeine anthem, I reach the sky. Through the concrete jungle, I pave my way. No time for doubters, I'm here to stay. Every drop of sweat, every late night line, stacking my victories, I'm on the climb. Through the concrete.
All right, I don't know who wouldn't listen to that every single morning as they were getting amped up for the day. But what we would do typically when we pick, we're like, okay, that one, I don't know if you could tell on your side of the camera, but that one, just the sound quality was a lot smoother. The high end was a lot less tinny, which is something specifically that has been addressed in V4. The V4 quality of the recordings are much better than 3.5. But so I would download the song. There's a lot of use case that I haven't told you about, but you hear how closely it sticks to the original. If I could just show you real quick some examples I've got here. For the song Here and Now, I wanted to turn my voice into a gospel choir. So here's a little sample of my voice. And it sounded beautiful, but it wasn't a gospel choir. So what I ended up doing is I put just that a cappella through Suno, said generate me a gospel choir in this key, at this speed, at this tempo, and here we go. And so it actually ended up creating, I put the whole song in there, and it ended up creating unique melody lines. It nailed the harmony perfectly, but then there's verse and bridge and everything, and it's actually writing its own parts with a level of musicality that was truly incredible, but it's still on the producer or the creator to chop it up, put it into place, and make a song. I think really quick you can hear Here and Now. Like, did you hear that run? Like, when like, no, like it's just going off, and I'm like, oh my God, take me to church. But there's also some other cool things like that. This is all specifically using Suno, but there's a lot of other programs out there, right? And Lalal is another popular one that we use. Specifically for this one record we did was with a Warner Publishing writer, and we were pitching to a major artist, and I ended up singing the chorus and sound like this.
I'm your shadow, dance a little bit of heaven and touch yourself.
But a lot of the time it is it's just really good marketing, honestly, to whoever you're pitching the song to put their voice on it. Lalal makes that possible with like almost any popular artist you could think of. We tried this with Beyonce's voice. We tried this with Lady Gaga's voice, Adele, Pink, and so we ended up with using Miley Cyrus. But this is, and so we were pitching to a female artist. It makes it so that they could actually picture a female artist singing the song.
I'm your shadow dancer, little bit of every man, a touch of sand. Loving sex and rock and roll, we're born again. Caught in between the final dance, our last romance. Be my shadow dancer.
Now let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
How will the artist feel that you're taking her voice? Or
That's a
Beyonce or Lady
It's a
Gaga?
really good question. That is Lalal. I'm assuming, this is an assumption, I haven't verified it. I'll ask Grok about it later. I'm assuming that Lalal is paying out a likeness royalty to these artists because specific artists are available in the free version, others are not. And AI generated music now is copyrightable. So I think a simple likeness royalty would solve that. You may even be on the hook as the producer releasing the song. You may be on the hook for that likeness royalty. And because it's so new, and it's a great question because it raises a great point that this technology, we're still regulating it. We're still going to be bumping up against the walls on what's allowed. The fact that they've already made AI generated art, music, anything copyrightable is incredible, and that is a Pandora's box that is going to, we're going to just see what happens over the next however many years, but it's happening very quickly.
I also
Yeah.
do you think mainstream artists are gonna be recording AI songs?
Absolutely, they already are. So Suno specifically, they were partnered with Justin Timberlake and Timbaland, and these tools. The thing is, and this is all part of the presentation, is that actually about 60% of professional musicians are already using AI in their music. And so if you know who T-Pain is, he is infamous for his use of autotune. People said that he ruined music with autotune, the artistry of being a vocalist. Autotune is a form of AI. So it's just we're seeing these new tools come about, and and as Dr. Rushnick said, people are like, oh, I don't really know about it. I hate it. Very few people are like, wait, this is the future. And I honestly, Patel had a really great point. Nothing really matters. At the end of the day, life is inherently meaningless. We give it the meaning, and these tools exist whether we want them to or not. So you can be afraid of them and deny their existence, or you can embrace them and be at the cutting edge of technology, and pretty much you get to make the choice for yourself. Like I said, we're going to be bumping up against walls. We're going to make mistakes and have to fix them, but that's what's exciting about being an innovator. And just to bring that point about the Spotify Canvas home, just because I'm looking at this presentation, all of this, everything you're seeing here is AI generated, and then using Runway ML, which is image to video AI.
Olvida todo lo que sabes, reprograma tu alma, liviana tu carga, vuela como un ave. Evita falsas amistades, desarrolla un criterio, domina ese miedo que te invade. Sé que es difícil llegar a final de mes, no te des por vencido, canaliza tu estrés. Fluye como pez, respira, cuenta 1, 2, 3. Donde estés, nunca olvides que siempre estarás blessed. La rutina te fatiga y te castiga, miras arriba pidiendo que sea vía de llave. Los papeles con la cara de Bolívar ya no sirven para nada, solo de papel toilette.
So that's a song by Sammy Hawk that we produced, and the song itself actually has no AI in the production, but this image of Sammy, this is the original image actually right here. The jaguar head is AI generated, the background, his jacket that he's wearing, the earring, the eyes glowing, everything, that is all AI generated with Midjourney, and then I pieced it together in Adobe, which has also Photoshop's got AI, Premiere's got AI, After Effects has AI, and then I literally just took that picture, that prompt, or that which acted as the prompt, ran it through Runway ML, which just released Generation 4 this week, and it's incredible. But there's, I can even mention some more if you're interested in animation engines, but created this whole video of him transforming into a cyberpunk jaguar in the rainforest of Venezuela, where he's from. And that was our promo, and also the canvas for his Spotify, and we create these things incredibly fast, which so
How long did that take you?
well, because I guess there was some personal editing on this one, maybe an hour. Like you'll see right here, because so these are matters of minutes. I generated this artwork with ChatGPT.
You know she's a fat kitty, she's a fat cat. She makes me ow and it hurts so good. Oh.
What's cool is Sora, which is OpenAI's model of image to video or text to video. You have the option to create perfect loops, which are great for Spotify Canvas. But and same with this one, is also a Sora video generator.
Sunshine raining on my head. I've got blue skies coming off my breath. I'm on cloud 9.
And so, if I wanted to, and what I did for song was Nothing Really Matters. I just went into Premiere, I looped that little video a bunch of times, dropped the song in there, exported it, and shot that off to your professor in a matter of minutes. And that together, producing a song and a piece of marketing content like that in the past could have taken, let's be generous, on a short timeline and say weeks. It took me minutes. I did it while I was talking about it to the class, and that's and I said it in the last class, is thousands of dollars of work that were just completed like that for 90 to 99% of a discount. And
you see how technology is moving. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you couldn't do what you did 5 years ago.
right.
And now the speed is the key.
There are people who speculate on what the future is actually going to look like, and it's gonna, people are going to be making their own video games, their own music. You want a playlist for the day, you're gonna generate a playlist. You're not gonna spend the time ooh, I like this song, I like this song. It's gonna be instantaneous, in the moment, what's going on right now, score that moment for me. And it's all gonna be your content. And so however we do, even in this class, I noticed part of the assignment is to create a social media page, right? And to have, was it 8 pieces of content or something, 2 to 3 times a week? People would have to sit down, create a strategy.
Yeah.
And now, not only will AI create the strategy for you, it'll create the content for you.
Yes.
And then you can automate it with AI to post it. You never even have to really use social media to be a social media marketer now. So
it's going to take all those people that are doing content for a living, will not have a job.
Right. Or they'll just be self-employed. And
Or they'll be using AI.
right. It's going to be very interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
even,
be interesting. So if you can stop sharing, it's excellent. We're coming to the end of our class.
okay.
Perfect. Wow. So any comment, questions before I thank Sharon for taking time out? I wanted to thank you, Jared, and then we'll keep in touch and see how we'll proceed from here. But the students can add music to their project.
Yeah, of course. And of course, if you're interested in working on any of this or learning about any of this, I do have a production company, and we create a lot of content. You can find me on Instagram or anywhere by J Dillon Music, and it's just J
Dillon
Music. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Well, have a great day, everyone. I hope you enjoyed.
We'll see. Keep in touch.
Feature.
Thank you.
Bye.
Amazing. What do you think? Frank, you were basic generated the coffee, and we got a whole
I think that could be really good for like businesses making jingles and stuff.
yeah, all that marketing. And how many basically hours and hours spending in it. It's sometimes what I think about is the first pass or the second pass, it's good enough. And then you have that inspiration that if you have a real musician there, he or she can make it better. But it's as if I have to write content for blogs already. That first pass is good enough in the beginning, and then you have the human. But who knows what's there? It's the question I had, though. If I have Lady Gaga or anyone else there, is what are my rights? Now they're taking my voice, right, and my style that is a legal thing, and that is there. Any other comments that you can think about? Okay, so Quinn, you and Frank were the impetus to that song, and then it's already a song, and then you think about it. I got the cover, right? I got the video that along with it. And I have some musician friends that were trying to convince me that it bothers them that they spend hours and hours on this, and every schmo can then be a musician, right? And produce some music. That's the way it is, But I try to convince them, but nobody can be, but that non-musician can't be as good as you. That you still have that contribution to it, that your human intelligence comes in, and there's something still about live music or being with people that, can go through it, but there are areas. Anything else? So let me get the attendance code with you that we can do, and stay with me afterwards. But I thought that it was worthwhile. What do you think, Greta, for sharing that? At least we get a sense of it. I asked him to come. But I think it was worthwhile just to see that. 7720. Greta, can you be so kind and put that in the chat?
Yeah.
And you guys can 7220, you guys can stay with me.
For the last class when we were having connection issues,
Yeah.
we have to do anything about because we didn't get the attendance code for the last class.
Did we even do attendance?
No.
Yeah, so that was on my end. So we'll just count it. So everybody's in the same boat. So in that case, well,
Okay.
don't worry about it. It won't,
Great.
it won't hurt you that we didn't take attendance for that class. That you're here
Yeah,
for
it's
this.
just when the attendance grade keeps
it
up
won't
and
count.
down.
We'll take that. We'll
Okay,
we'll
that's
take
good.
that off.
Yeah, sometimes when I miss class in other classes, I see it and it drops so much, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
no,
my
don't worry
God.
about that. No,
Okay,
don't worry
well,
about that. That one class. And we didn't take attendance, so I don't even think that's listed. So it's not
okay,
even part of your grade.
great. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you're welcome. So let me stop recording. Those that need to stay with me.
Bye, thank you.
You're welcome. Ciao.